we had some clarification was needed in terms of what kind of disasters are we talking about, and we decided to talk about extreme natural events which can turn into disasters and not man-made disasters in armed conflict. So we concentrated our discussion on that. And we stick to the agenda and worked on the cards that were tabled. And the first card was, there was some discussion on the gap analysis, which showed that 6 out of 12 gap issues are connected to sanitation, and the table made clear that we should not forget water in this discussion. And we reformulated that need, that sanitation needs special attention, and that sanitation solutions are lagging behind. One card was issuing that we should learn from good practice, and we asked ourselves, so what is that good practice? And we also reformulated a need to invest in innovation and research in sustainable and scalable solutions. So scalability was also a point mentioned as very important. And we have to face future challenges in getting prepared and building resilience. So preparedness and building resilience was often mentioned. And the future challenges that we discussed were clearly urbanization and climate change. Then there was one point raised that we start to think early towards the transition or the shift between emergency and development. And it was stated that it's not even because we have to make sure, so we have to be aware that clusters are deactivated quite soon. So, and we are of the opinion that we should start thinking even before a disaster breaks out, and in periods between disasters, and having a broad discussion on preparedness and prevention, focusing on the question how do we move towards development principles from an emergency. And it's very important to base decisions on risks assessed, so risk assessments and risk-informed programming turn to be out very important. And finally, there was some criticism that the discussion focused only on systems and mechanisms, and that we actually didn't talk about beneficiaries. So discussion was sparked on that one. And of course, it's sustainability needs to put beneficiaries in the center of all efforts, and that we always focus on the beneficiaries and the 4 dimensions of sustainability: technical, social, environmental aspects. Then cross-learning is also a very important issue. What can development learn from emergency and vice versa? And finally, this is when time ran out, we talked about the necessity having flexible funding tools. So shifting funding from emergency towards development issues.
And the contrary.
And the other way around.